Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to identify the mother of all hotspots. If you interpret specific signals on your Deeper correctly, you will be rewarded with big catches. Let's do it.
Eines der spannendsten Themen für uns.
This is one of the most exciting topics we did with the Deeper chirp. Finding wrecks with the Deeper chirp, how does it work? Let us find out right now why this is relevant. Why are wrecks the absolute hotspots? Let us take a look at the next picture. This is a sunken wreck. What we can clearly see is that a wreck is a structure is often found in kind of unvaried water bodies, where there is nothing but plants at the drop-offs. Our lakes are mostly filled with sand, have a few stones such that structure, shells, solid materials, and so on accumulate at the wrecks. By the way, this shot was made in the ocean because of the clarity of the water. The accumulation of solid structures in wrecks attracts fish. Large wrecks attract many prey fish, which in turn attract larger predators. We can see it in this picture. From a freshwater point of view, wrecks are covered with shells, and the pike perch, or the American walleye, uses these wrecks as feeding grounds. The wrecks also offer diversity. So, if I have a boring bottom structure made of sand, the probability of fish being there is lower than if I have structures like shipwrecks, where fish can cavort, find food, and can hide. Quite often, fishes swim over the wreck. We can see this on some pictures, especially with high-quality, professional boat fish finders. Here is a fish finder image of the wreck we just saw before. These are imaging sonars which work great for detecting wrecks, and can even offer an inside view of the wreck. We can clearly see the boat as well as the fishes, which are in fact these yellow dots we can see over there. These signals are fish signals. If we look at this area with a 2D fish finder, which is exactly the same type of fish finder as the Deeper chirp, then we can tell that this structure we have here is a wreck. Our task is to detect such structures, and from what we can see here, we have nice fish arches, here are small shoals of fish, and here are larger fish arches above the wreck. These pictures are really amazing because the fishes stand above the wreck like candles, or slightly next to it, and whoever anchors his boat up here can make really nice catches, because the wrecks are always full of fish in the summer months. This is another picture from a down sonar, which is an imaging sonar directed downwards. You can easily spot the wreck here and also the fishes as little dots. The bigger ones here are actually brighter than the smaller ones. So, we need to keep in mind that this is what we are looking for, and we can find these structures with the Deeper. We will demonstrate how it works directly in water. Today we will do something unusual. We will get to know the advantages and properties of the Deeper in a way you would probably not expect. Namely, search for wrecks and find one. We already know from the fish finder on our boat that there is a wreck somewhere here underneath the water. It is 7 in the morning, and we are the only people on the water. What makes the Deeper chirp so unique is simply the amount of detail, the accuracy achieved using different frequencies, and the chirp technology which can really bring out the details. In short, for a small fish finder, the Deeper chirp is able to do at a very high level what the Deeper Pro could only do rudimentarily. We will now show you what we are looking for as well as what we want to find in a recording made with a very large fish finder. We can clearly see a structure lying on the bottom with these small edges, which are typical signs of a wreck. We can also see from the display of the side sonar, which is a special sonar that allows you to view sideways, how the structure of the wreck lies on the bottom. And this is precisely what we want to reproduce this 2D visualization with the Deeper chirp. We will cast several times above the spot and observe what happens, or how everything looks like with the wide transmission cone, which has the low frequency. What will change when we look at it with the middle frequency and at the end again with the low frequency? We will now head towards the spot with the boat, then anchor and make ourselves at ease on the water. We are now approaching the wreck, so we will slow down a bit. We will drift slowly over it until I locate the wreck on the display of the fish finder on the boat, then we will stop, drop anchor, and then do a few casts with the Deeper. We are exactly above it now, we can clearly see the fish arches, so we will now anchor. We will now make a few casts with the Deeper chirp. For this we have brought our bait casting rod, because the Deeper fits on it very nicely. We make a last check if the connections with the Deeper are tight, tie knots, open the app, and then modify some settings. The Deeper is floating in our direction. We see quite a lot of fish arches here. So, even if we do not identify anything in the bottom structure, we know there is a hotspot here. Let us check where the Deeper is. The green Deeper is not so easy to see. There is something happening. Some kind of signal is emerging. As we can see from this traction point, there must be something down there, which would explain why the fish are swimming all around it. Since we let the Deeper float, I mean it has been on the same spot for a long time, the image here seems to be much longer, but this is exactly what we are looking for. We will now orientate ourselves again, look for a landmark on the water, maybe like a group of trees at the end, so that we can cast in the same direction. It seems to be full and crowded down there, but the reason is that the Deeper moves slowly and all the fish there are moving within the transmission cone. We cast one more time, there will soon be ripples. We reel in the Deeper, which kind of speeds up the image. And then we will see how it looks like. The Deeper is now in water, we know where the structure, that is the wreck, is located. We reel in a little slower, because we did not cast so far away, so that we stay above the wreck. We were not hitting the spot exactly. Right now we see the structure in the ground. The fish arches do not have to be clear here, because we are in a large lake and everything is moving. It landed a little bit more to the left, and there we have a nice view of the structure. As well as of the way it sticks out of the water. This is a very good shot, and it now becomes clear why it is worth fishing near these structures. The content displayed using the wide cone can never be accurate, simply because we have such a wide beam angle. For this reason, we need even narrower transmission cones, and we will do this with the medium one. The cast was good. We let the Deeper float, and the water work for us. We can see something happening right here, this yellow line, the structural change. We look roughly where the Deeper is, and there we can already see the boat, namely the two side plates. Recognizing it at this point is quite easy. As mentioned earlier, if the water was calm, the recording would be very clear, but but we have to adapt to the spot or to the water. We had never heard of a wreck in this location, or that someone had found the wreck. So, this is a good example where you can see the advantages of a fish finder like Chirp, which makes it easy to find certain structures. Today we learned how to identify structure with a fish finder, how to recognize an obstacle, and how to cast several times using different frequencies in order to find out what it is. We have seen a typical shape of a wreck. Now we know what a wreck looks like, and we will now give you some more impressions and various shots of this wreck taken with different frequencies. You can easily tell from the strength of the bottom line whether it is the high frequency, the medium frequency, or the low frequency.
Wracks und Strukturen finden mit dem Deeper.
Finding wrecks and structure with the Deeper. First of all, watch out for differences in color on the bottom with the wide transmission cone. Everything that is brightly colored there can be a structure or a wreck. You need to pay attention to these structures and signals. If you notice something, make 2 or 3 more casts. Check again if you can really locate it. You should offset your cast a little to the left and right. The closer the Deeper is to the structure, the stronger the signals will be. Once you have roughly located the structure, use the medium cone, which is narrower. Now you have seen how to find structure and wrecks on the bottom with the Deeper Chirp. Now we move on.